Season 2, Chapter 8, Japanese Grand Prix. It's been a few races since Malachi Wilson's last podium in Monza, but he's been on red-hot form ever since. Today, however, brings the golden opportunity to win a Grand Prix. With the AlphaTauris occupying the second row of the grid, today could be the Junior Bulls' day and could help them close in on 4th place Ferrari in the points.
We come to you live today from the Mie Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen many title deciders over the years. Some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula One season. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, and maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. Anthony Davidson is alongside me today, nice and dry up here in the commentary box. But how are you, Ant? Looking forward to the race?
I'm very well, thank you, Crofty. Forgot my umbrella on the way up to the box, so I'm a little bit soggy, but I'll dry out soon enough. It's going to be an interesting race in this weather. Obviously, your strategy changes completely once it starts raining, as overtaking is a lot easier in the wet. The focus moves away from pure aerodynamic efficiency and tyre management, and of course the driver themselves can always make more of a difference in these conditions than in the dry.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Wilson, Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Norris, Hamilton, Giovinazzi and Valtteri Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, George Russell and Islet, Latifi, Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher and Guan Yu Zhou. Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
In come Wilson now into the pit lane for what should be his first and only stop of the Grand Prix. Perez came in a lap ago and could potentially retake the race lead should this pit stop go wrong. But it looks like the AlphaTauri crew have got it right here onto the Cerventas. Perez is making his way through the last chicane now and towards the last corner. He is closing rapidly. It's going to be a really close race between these two as to who gets out in front. Here comes Wilson's AlphaTauri now making his way out of the pit lane. It's going to be very tight here and back towards turn 1. Wilson's on his way out. It's going to be close. Who's going to get there to turn 1 first? Perez is closing in and it's Wilson who takes the lead. And for the first time in today's race, Malachi Wilson shows the way. Could this be the catalyst for his first Grand Prix victory? So here we go then, further on into this Japanese Grand Prix, the end of lap number 16, Perez is going for a move. Our pure job here is just to hold him off for the rest of the race, and the objective for today's run, for today's chapter, is simple: finish the job and win the Grand Prix, trying to get our first career victory for Malachi Wilson here in Japan. It has been a pretty good race for us so far. We've managed to keep up with the Red Bulls. We've lost control there coming out of the last chicane. Perez can have a good run of us now, going down through the last corner. No DRS on offer today, thanks to the wet weather, but we've still got our ERS Gasly behind us. That's the new fastest lap of the race. Of course, we previously held it. And look to the outside, try to retake the lead. We've squeezed Perez in turn 1 with a bit of wheel banging there. We've managed to retake the lead around the outside, and Gasly's right there with us now. So we have a system to try and take on the Mexican with a bit of help from our teammate, which is always good to see. Heading further on now into lap number 17. Perez is looking for a move on the inside, going down in towards the next left-hander. When it gets on him though, just go around the outside for the time being, but Perez might get a better drive off. He will get a better drive off, and he takes the lead away from us. Only briefly does he, and there he goes around the outside. I say only briefly, we managed to get back immediately, so things are looking good for him. He now retakes the lead of the Grand Prix, puts us down to second, and we've got Gasly behind us in third place. So pushing further on now, once again, as we continue to push Perez. We'll move on to lap number 18 now. We are right there behind Perez. It's going to be very tight all the way down to 130. Are we close enough to try and go for a move into the left-hander? It's not going to be enough. We could try and go for a move into the last chicane, but is that going to be enough to go for a move there as well? He's going to be very tight looking in. We go to the inside. It's not enough to take position away from Sergio Perez, and so we hold on to P2 and can't take P1 for now. But we're going to keep on trying. There's still a long way to go in this Grand Prix, so it's definitely not all lost. Moving on to lap number 19 now. Still right there on the back of Perez. Could try and go for a move here. We're going to go very late on the brakes. Going into the left-hander. It's going to be nice and tight, but Perez squeezes us there and might get a better drive off, and he does get a better drive off once again. And so Perez holds on to the lead, and we're still back here in second. We're still using our ERS, but we're not really losing much as time goes by, which is always good to see. Our ERS is in very good hands now. Going through 130R here on lap number 19. We've got a couple more corners to go from the lap end. We'll go to the inside once again, and this time we're a lot closer to Perez, and this time we get the job done. We retake the lead of the race with Gasly still back there in third, and Perez massively drops off on the exit of the corner, but he's going to start closing right back in on us, so it's definitely not over yet. We're just going to try and build our lead if we can, but pushing on to the end of lap number 20 and start lap number 21. Perez is now right there with us. He's looking to go around the outside into that first corner. He's half a car in front. We're going to have the inside line. We've got the ERS, a decent run, but Perez, we're forced to back out, and Perez retakes top spot. So the battle continues on. We've got a yellow flag behind us. I'm not sure what that's for. That's for our teammate Pierre Gasly, who's just, I'm not quite sure what's happened to him here. I think he hasn't retired, so that's good, but he's just watching it. We're watching it, a replay here, and he's just lost control of the car, and around he goes there, and that gives us no support from our teammate in the late stages of this Grand Prix, because we had him backing us up, and we were looking like a decent points haul for AlphaTauri. But Gasly has spun outside of the points now. He's down to P11, so we've got serious work to do here by ourselves. Pushing on to lap 22, we're still chasing Perez for first position, going into 130R. We've set 2 purple sectors here. We're on course for a fastest lap, which Perez currently holds, and we're just trying to keep on closing in on him here. We can try and get a good run down the home straight if necessary. Here we come now to the last corner. We've got a full tank of ERS. Head back towards turn number 1. We set the fastest lap of the race, really good stuff. We're just not close enough to try and go for a move on Perez, which unfortunately so have to wait if we can try again on the next lap. So on this lap, we're still going in. We're trying to make that pass right behind Perez here. We'll have to try and go late on the brake into the left-hander once again, and same as before, but this time we've got to try and make sure we don't hit the corner. We've got to try and sit on the curb as much as we can, but we can't sit on the curb. We've got too much on the throttle. We've taken the lead anyway. Perez is unable to get by us on the left, and we've retaken the lead of the Grand Prix. We're now just 4 laps away. We've got to try and hold on to this thing. Pushing on to lap number 25 now. Only 3 more laps to go in this Grand Prix, and it's Perez still haranguing us for this position. We've gone a bit wide on the exit there. We've gone over the curb, and Perez is going to try and sneak through on the inside, and he does sneak through on the inside. He's got a run that's him to take the top spot. They go side by side, and the Red Bull we should be no match for the Red Bull as he flies down towards 130R. Perez practically breezing past us there, and we now have to try and get this race lead back within the next 2 and a bit laps in order to take our first win. So we're going to duck to the inside right away, though, wasting no time. And there we go through the chicane once again. Perez gets all out of shape, backs up Verstappen, backs up Leclerc as well, who's closing in the race to try and take a podium position later on. We've got the lead here with just 2 more laps to go as we press on now towards the end of lap number 26. We're still being chased by Perez, and we've gone a bit wider there, but we managed to keep on the track a lot better than we did in the last lap. We've gone wide over the curb. Well, not over the curb, we've gone too far away from the curb. Perez is closing in. He was only half a second behind, and now he's closing in, so this could be it. This could be our victory in jeopardy once again. Perez is close, but is he close enough to try and go for a move heading into the last chicane? I don't think he is, but I think we still got to try and hold on for just this 1 more lap. Final lap. We're on to the final lap now, making our way around the last corner to begin the 27th and final lap of this Japanese Grand Prix, a lap away from our first victory in Formula 1. Here comes Perez closing on us down the main straight, heading back towards turn number 1. Does he have to try and go for a move? We're heading the outside, close enough to go for a move to the inside. He stays in line for the time, but we've got to be careful, because any mistakes in this last lap, we could not only lose the lead, but also potentially lose second as well. Verstappen's still right there. He's been trying to capitalise on Perez all race. He hasn't even had to find his way past. Perez has been dominating between the 2 Red Bull drivers, and we've managed to come between them here, but it's not over yet. Perez is still 6 tenths behind us now. It's 7 tenths. We are getting away from him, but it's only a matter of time before he starts to close the in, and we've got a lift there through that left-hander, so Perez is going to start reeling us in once more as we make our way through the end of Sector 1, the start of Sector 2 for moves on Perez, and this is where he could try and go for one on us. It's going to be tight. Is he going to have enough of a run? He's still half a second behind. It's not over yet. Got to be nice and careful here to make sure we don't go wide. Don't give him any opportunities to try and attack. If we give him any opportunities to try and attack, then we lose this race, because that Red Bull is way faster than our AlphaTauri is. Despite the gap being small, on the performance comparison, it's still way faster, that Red Bull. We've only got to hold on for just over 1 more sector, and we will be race winners in Formula 1. It's been a decent journey so far with Malachi Wilson, and we're about to the next milestone, provided we can hold on in this final sector. It's going to be very tight here, because Perez is going to get a good run on us, but does he have enough? Does he have the momentum to get closer to try and go for a move? We're using our ERS, we're deploying it, overtake mode, and keeping it on for as long as we can here. But we'll use all the deploy if we have to, just to stay in front. We might be able to pull it off here, making our way through the last 2 corners now, through the chicane for the final time, through the last turn, and down the hill we come. And that's going to be it. We're going to take our first victory with Malachi Wilson in the Prodigy Series at the Japanese Grand Prix, and that is chapter clear. Once again, another objective complete. and we are race winners for the first time in Formula 1 with Malachi Wilson. Oh, that was a really good race there. Perez kept us on our toes all the way to the end on this very wet Suzuka circuit. A race where we thought this could be AlphaTauri's day. It is AlphaTauri's day, and it's this man, Malachi Wilson, the driver we made our debut with almost 2 seasons ago now at Haas for those last few races in the 2021 season. Now in 2023, we're race winners, and the top teams, if they haven't noticed us yet, they definitely will now, and potentially the senior team, Red Bull, could be sniffing around us after we just essentially run rings around their 2 drivers. We're fighting just to move up a team potentially and potentially move to World Championship winning material next season. But for now, we've got to enjoy this victory. So it's us who take the victory. Then Malachi Wilson is your race winner. Sergio Perez comes home in 2nd place. And it's Max Verstappen in 3rd. It's Charles Leclerc in 4th, Sainz in 5th for Ferrari. Those 2 will get a decent haul of points for the Scuderia. But we're still going to gain a bit of ground thanks to our points today. It's Lando Norris in 6th, Lewis Hamilton 7th, Fernando Alonso 8th, Bottas 9th, and it's Pierre Gasly in 10th. Of course, it was unfortunate he spun out, but we can't really do much about that. But guys, that's the end of this video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to ring the bell to stay tuned about all the Prodigy videos coming up. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. He did it. Malachi Wilson crosses the line in 1st place for the first victory of his F1 career. If the top teams weren't paying attention, they will be now. The future is certainly bright for today's race winner.